What's up to our very loyal
Hello,
fan
hello.
base who's all tuned in right now for sure? We got Wes Brumba here once again.
Hi, everyone.
And well, we're going to be off next week, and I feel like we don't really know what the questions are going to be for the next month or so. We've been like spitballing a bunch of them, but we wanted to kind of just get ahead of it and see kind of where we should go with the show, these questions, and what we want to do. So, yeah, that's going to be kind of the theme for this episode. Um,
Collecting questions.
yeah, good. We want like big, juicy like questions that you can just keep taking a bite out of that apple from. Um, we found out that just like the more vague and the worse the question is, honestly, it seems like the better.
Yeah.
Wes, do you have any insights here with the questions we've done so far and the direction we should go?
Yeah, I mean, the questions that we've asked so far are almost just like topics, just dating, or the internet. But keeping the questions super vague has seemed to help. Also, you seem to think that this is going to be some awesome spitball session about questions. I know that this is going to be you roasting my awesome questions, dude. My questions are good,
All
dude.
right, dude. Well,
And
listen,
everyone's calling in to say so, dude.
yeah, look at our chat is absolutely flooding with
Yeah,
messages right
you
now.
you you go first so I can make fun of yours, and then that'll make mine look a little bit better.
Okay, well, I'm gonna instead of starting with mine, I'm gonna start with some user submitted ones.
Nice. Yeah,
Uh,
let's hear what the people have to say.
so we got one that says, "Are people more empowered today or more overwhelmed?"
That's a good one.
I think over. What was the question? It's over. Are people more empowered or
Empowered or
overwhelmed?
overwhelmed? Yeah, those things aren't mutually exclusive, so the answer could be both.
Do you feel like those two words are like too far apart and don't relate to each other at all? That question doesn't make sense?
Well, first of all, thank you for writing in. Great question. See what he does. Look, our fans are writing awesome questions in. They're taking the time and just getting flamed immediately. We could tweak it slightly, but I know what they're going for, and I appreciate you, random user.
Okay, what would you do you have any thoughts on what that the answer could look what are
So,
the
I
different
mean,
directions the answer could go on this?
well, it's you might be more empowered and you have more freedom than people had in the past, but everything's also so dispersed that your power is like you might be empowered by, oh, I've got a car, I can drive across the country, da da da, but also you're not empowered by the fact that there's 36 million people in our state and your one vote matters less than it ever has. If you're in
Yeah,
a
I think
small
it's one
town
of
and
those
you're
things. I also
100
think
votes,
like,
then that's empowering.
and I could see how like empowerment has led to being overwhelmed. Like
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
it's like a chain sequence of events.
Yeah, definitely. And I wonder if that's also, like there's some level of responsibility there. Because, okay, you're empowered. I mean, you can be powered by a lot of different things, just your rights and how good your life is. But also, if you're particularly wealthy, it's like, okay, now fix stuff, do something, like great power, great
Yeah, it's time to
responsibility
do it.
type of thing. And that can be overwhelming as well. But good
Uh,
question. Sorry, Jack made fun of you.
no, I like the question now.
He came
Um,
around to it.
Wes, do you have a question you want to fire off, or should I just keep going down some of our user submitted
Th-
questions?
Uh, Either or.
Okay, I'll just do one more from this.
Yeah.
Do you do things because you feel like you should or because you want to?
That's another great one. I like that. Bit of both.
Rebecca
Yeah.
M,
Well, it's funny.
big fan.
Shouts out, Rebecca. Thanks for the question. Yeah, that's a pretty funny one. Oh, hey, Trudes. There we go. Finally, three of us
Hi,
on the pod,
I know, big night.
or on the stream. Uh, yeah, I mean, that's a really funny question, and also like kind of ties into the question of like how much fun should you have? It's like, do you do all delay
Is that
gratification?
one of your questions? How much fun should you have?
Sure, yeah. No, it's not. But I
I
mean,
like it. I think that's a
I
good
think it's
question.
I
I
think
think
it's an
it's like
interesting one, and
I
It's
think it
somewhat
also
kind of
tie
what this question's asking. Like,
yeah.
do you live every day like it's your last? But then it's like, dang, I'll never get to retire. But at the same time, you really could be hit by a car tomorrow, and you'd be like, why didn't I do any fun stuff? You know.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you spend
And
all
I
your
think
time
like
training and just doing what you should do, right? What you should do,
and
then
I
you
feel
might
like
end up looking back
so
and just,
much I feel like so much of like being a person is born out of, or like the feelings of being like a real person and like connecting with people comes out of like leisure. And I
yeah.
feel like the importance of leisure has like shrunk quite a
Hmm.
bit. I don't know if the West has ever been particularly good at it, but it feels like now we're like atrocious at it. Like I feel like we're the worst we've ever been at like carving out
Yeah.
time for ourselves and relaxing. Like I don't like
Well,
even
the
when I
thing
have
is,
time for relaxing, I feel like the dark thoughts creep up of being like you should be working or like you could be
yeah,
maximizing this time. And I think
it's
that's
definitely,
and
yeah.
I think that goes back to the thing with like should you versus do you want to? And I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of things you end up doing because you feel like you should.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with that. And you know, the West does have a super hardworking culture. Although you know, there's countries, you know, like Japan and stuff, where that's even more of a work culture than it is here.
Hmm.
Um, but you know, a lot of people find a lot of meaning from their work. You know, and it's like the whatever the you know, people who retire or die sooner. You know what I mean? If you just keep
Hmm.
working, and it depends on the type of work. You know what I mean? If it's but it's something that you derive meaning from and gives you like intrinsic value, then you know work can be really important. And people, even if they have enough money, just sort of like wander around listlessly and you know don't feel you know. Again, like you said, that it's sort of that feeling of like not contributing or there's something else I could be doing.
Hmm.
Um, although everyone with not that amount of money to retire is like, I would like, you know, yeah, well, I would love to say the sentence, money doesn't solve everything or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's give me the amount of money to say that. But that is an interesting question for sure.
We should add how much we have our big list. Yeah, let's add I like adding how much fun should we be having? And then uh do you do things? Okay.
Do you
All
do
right, do you have
things?
well no, what this do you do things because you feel like you should or because you want to? Obviously I
Yeah.
didn't just write down
Yeah. Do you do things?
do you do things? That's a great question. We'll start
Yeah.
the new year with that one.
Yeah. 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 Do you do things?
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Some say
That
no.
one does have a right answer. It is yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, do you have a question that you'd like to float up?
Yeah, what is the impact of live music been on your life, and what do you think the state of it is today?
I like that one a
So,
lot.
yeah, you know, obviously we've like worked in live spaces before, but you know, music's something that I think everyone, I mean, hope you know, most people, vast majority of people, really connect with, and obviously we're all sort of aware of being priced out of a show you wanted to go to, or that you would have gone to if you had, could you afford it? But I think
Yeah.
where it's really insane is if you're a young fan of, I mean, I'm going to show my age here. I don't know what young people listen to, but like, you know, you're a Billie Eilish fan or a Taylor Swift fan, right? And you're in high school. How are you supposed to come up with $1,200 for a show? Like, that's
Yeah,
insane. You know,
totally.
it's
Dude,
like,
even
that's brutal. So, yeah,
Tame's floor tickets for this last go around were like $700. I was like,
exactly. I mean, yeah,
no.
yeah, we're in our 30s and we can't even go see
We're
our
like,
favorite
this isn't
bands.
gonna work.
Yeah, yeah. Let alone being in high school, and you know, so it's like, and also like, how does that feel for the musicians? You know, it's like your music's your live music at least is not for the people. But I know you got tons of people to take care of, and you're not the money person usually, right? But
Uh-huh.
and
But
that's
I
just
will
sort of how
say
normal
one
capitalism
interesting
works.
thing
But
is that what's her oh man, what's her name? She's had some big songs this year. But she like torched Ticketmaster for like allowing resellers selling tickets at like astronomical prices for her show.
mhm.
And she was able to get them to refund the price difference in all of those tickets.
Wow, yeah.
I
So you know,
know.
I mean,
Well,
so that's
but that
obviously
opens
epic.
up,
Like that's what
but
you want
that
as
that
well.
opens the floodgates for other artists to do that. It also, I think, pulls back the curtain on being like, could these artists have done this the whole time?
Yes, I think that the answer to that is yes, but it's
I think a
also
lot of them use
like,
their reps and Ticketmaster,
yeah,
and a lot of that is like a shield for how expensive they sell tickets at, and
yeah.
then just
But
kind
this
of
is,
blame everyone but themselves. But I think a lot of them don't care because they're doing these arenas and walking out with $2 to $3 million. So they're like, I don't
yeah,
care. If my fans will
I
pay
think
it, like
that's,
I don't
yeah,
give a shit.
yeah. I do think that's a very fair complaint, and they're really the only ones that can stand up, right? Like Taylor Swift can just be like, Ticketmaster, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm Taylor Swift. You can't do this. Boom. And then the conversation's sort of over. But at the same time, it's like she's a musician. She's not a business negotiator person that knows how to talk to the CEO of Ticketmaster and make demands. She is a great
Oh, I
business
remember
person as
now,
well,
Olivia
obviously.
Dean, who it was. But all she did, she
Yeah.
posted it on her stories, tagged
Yeah.
them, was like, absolutely not. What the hell is happening? And then within the next
Yeah.
like 72 hours, they're like, we're refunding everyone who got like the price difference on everyone who got
Yeah.
gouged. But what it
No, I
is,
hope
it's also
that
an issue with
people
the
do
ticket
stand up.
scalpers. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I know somebody whose brother, I think, scalps tickets, and they
Mhm.
just set a bunch of like AI bots who buy like 100 tickets and then resell them, and then he makes like 10, 15, $20,000 like every night he
Yeah.
scalps a show.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
And you're
insane.
like, you're
And obviously, like,
scumbag.
yeah. 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 Well, if there's just like those opportunities for like arbitrage like that, that's just like that'll always happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I agree the ethics are not
But if
exactly there.
Ticketmaster has, if there's like a lever they can pull to stop that happening,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
aren't they pulling it? But it's, you know why? It's because they're reselling them through their own website. So they're making
Yeah.
the fees off of that
Yeah.
also. So they don't care. They're like, this is
Hmm.
a win-win for us. We get to pretend that we're
They
not
get to
selling
bounce it
tickets
back
at
twice. Yeah.
astronaut.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it's because once it goes to the reseller, they're taking the like cut off of that. But the thing is with the artist, they're not taking like they don't participate in any of the resellers. So it's
Yeah.
just
And
like
then the reselling stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ticketmaster's the only one who wins. So there's no incentive for them to cut that from happening.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any questions? You want to throw that one down? Okay. See, look, super good questions, guy over
Great
here. That's what they
question.
call me.
Make sure that's on the list. Um, okay,
All right.
we got
I just
another.
deleted it because I thought you were writing it down. But here we go. I'll put it back.
No, you got to put it in. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
next
Here
we
we
got
go.
another user submitted one.
Yeah.
With access to the internet, are people more social or antisocial? I think this goes back. This I
We.
feel like we hit this
Yeah.
with the alone one.
Yeah.
Um,
That's pretty much that
but that's
question.
another can of worms that we're happy to open up. I also think this
Yeah.
begs the question of like, what kind of questions are we going after with this show? Because I feel like at least these first
Yeah.
ones have been really like, kind of like doomy and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
is shit fucked? And like,
Shockingly deep, but deep conversations usually tend like trend towards negative,
yeah.
you know things. I mean, I
Um,
also like that. That's another question though. Is like, are we living in a less optimistic time? Because it certainly seems so. Maybe in the U.S. we are.
that's
I'm
a
sure
great
it varies
question. Can
place
you
to
write that
place and
down?
city to city.
Write these
Sure.
good questions down.
All
Uh,
I do is that yeah, look at the chat. It's going off on how good of questions
it's
I have.
blasting off.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I don't know. Like I feel like with your music one, that's a good optimistic, fun one. I
Yeah.
also like I had one somewhere. I was like, "What books have changed your life?"
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's like a
That's a
fun,
great one.
like not scary, and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like here's a bunch of suggestions and like what people are up to and what you can read. Because
Yeah.
I like things that I can listen to and make a list from and be like, okay, let's check these out.
Definitely. And I think
That's
that's
like a
also,
positive, not scary one.
yeah, that's a
And
super fun one.
I think everyone has books that they've read that have changed their lives.
I hope so. Yeah. Another one I had this, I think positive, but I'm sure like also it's, for this to be a good discussion, you have to cover the sort of negative parts of it. But what makes a good friendship?
That's a great one. I like it.
And then, obviously you'd have to talk about the the bad friendships you've may or may not have had. But
Uh,
or friendships that have ended and but what's the staying power of the ones that have worked not
I
just through
also
one
like
part of your life, but
I like this one too
throughout.
because I feel like there's so many conversations that center around like romantic relationships. I think it's easy. I feel like a lot of people really like put friendships on the back burner in regards to
Yes.
like its meaningfulness in people's lives. When I
Mhm.
feel like I've seen definitely like dozens of studies that are like friendships are one of the most like impactful things in people's lives that like give
Yeah.
meaning and depth and like joy. And it's but
Yeah.
I feel like we always default to talking about like romantic relationships um
100%. Yeah.
first. So I love this question just because I think
Yeah.
it's something that everyone has experienced, and especially like getting older too. Like it's friendships are weird; they ebb and flow. Like people fall out of graces, and it's like it feels way more. Friendship feels way more complicated as an adult. Um,
Yeah,
so I think
definitely. 100%.
there's a lot to talk on that. So that's a great
Although
question.
what friendships ideally are way less complicated than romantic
Of
relationships.
course,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like that's also sort of what makes them great. You know what I
but
mean?
that's
It's just
also
like
and that's
they're
the thing
there
that
for
makes me
you.
think.
There's not, it's like
Yeah, they're
really
not
just
high
a couple of you.
drama. Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree. They're healthy. They're good. They're fun. Okay, put that on the
Mhm.
list. Okay, I got
Right.
another one. Another user submitted one.
Yeah.
Um, has the ability to take endless photos made you appreciate life more and slow down or future trip? I think that's a bit
Or
wordy, but I do like the idea of like photos. Well, I mean, I just learned that so I was reading somewhere there like when you think of memory, a lot of people think of it as like a photograph.
yeah, yeah,
But it's more like like painting a painting over and over again
yeah.
because you're
But if you
thinking
were,
about the
yeah,
last time you thought about it. You're not really remembering the
yeah,
thing, which is
yeah.
scary.
No, there's yeah, we could get into the whole like psychology of memory and how it works. There's recall, and then there's like actually filing the memory away. And so if there's missed parts of any of that, then you won't have as good
Maybe
of a
has
memory. There's also
maybe
false memories. Like you can literally be like, I remember this thing happening, and
yeah.
it's just that didn't happen. So your brain is a crazy place, and memory is a super interesting study in psych. And yeah, that'd be a fun one.
Maybe the question's more along the lines of like uh
I'll tell you one
does
thing about
do
the
taking
constant videos and photographs is it's made drinking less fun
yes
or more
but
dangerous. Maybe not less
do
fun.
do do photos and videos take us out of the present moment? That
Yeah,
feels too
that
makes you
I
appreciate
like.
life more and slow down or future trip.
Or what is or future trip? I don't even know what that
I think
means.
that's
Or future trip?
when you're like sitting there and you take the photo and you're like, wow, this is gonna be so fun to look at. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, but you're here right now. Why are you thinking about
Okay.
this photo? I
Yeah,
think that's what
yeah.
it means. I'm not sure. To
I mean, I
our
think,
hundreds of
yeah.
listeners, feel free to chime in with what future
Yeah,
tripping
chime in
is.
on what future trip is. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I think there's a real term for that in psychology, but basically, just thinking about something can give you the dopamine from if you did it. Um,
Yes.
so if you're like, oh, what if I helped this grandma across the street, and you just think about it and like really bring it to the front of your mind, your brain will be like, wow, dopamine, you're a good person, and then you don't actually do anything. Like
That's
you didn't
terrible.
actually help anyone. You're not a good person, and then yeah, it's not a great thing that a great game that our brains play on
Play on
us,
us, yeah.
because that's such a messed up reward system. Yeah.
Um, okay, yeah, I do, yeah. I think something about, I think there's something here for sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
I
what
like the
else
way
do
you
you
put
got?
it. That, the photographs make us. Yeah, I mean, what are the effects of always having a camera, and not even just like there's always a camera.
Yes, I
All
like
of
that.
us
What are the
always have a
effects of us
camera.
always having a camera is great
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
think it does just change how we like are in places, think about places. Because like also too, like there's so many like it's weird because I feel like there's so many events now that are happening that are like phone free, and I think it's
Hmm.
real. Like I've heard of clubs too where you come in and they stick like a big sticker on the back of your phone.
Yeah.
on your camera, so you just can't be like taking photos in there.
Yeah. Well,
And I
that
think
type of thing
it's
is, that's the perfect example. Sorry to interrupt, but that's the
no,
perfect
go ahead.
example of it, um, taking us out of the current moment. When people
Yes.
are doing this thing at the concert, it's insane. I mean,
Hmm.
it's an insane thing to do. And not only did some people do it, it's an ocean of people
Yeah.
all at the biggest, best part of the song, the best set, and then everyone pulls out to just phones that cannot capture the quality of the moment.
Yes.
And
Well,
instead
it's
of
just like when
living
you
it,
take a
you're filming it.
it's like when you take a photo of the moon. You look at it,
Yeah,
you're like, this
yeah, yeah.
sucks.
You look at it and you're like, oh my God, it's just like a tiny little white ball. This is not it. Yeah.
Okay,
I
what
mean,
other
getting
questions do you
better,
have?
better, but still. Let's see. Um, are we being priced out of hobbies? And that also ties into, are we being priced out of hobbies, and have we lost our third spaces? So,
Yes.
because I mean, I don't know if
I
obviously,
don't. I think
whatever.
it's also two. I think it's three things. I think it's we're getting priced out of hobbies. I think that also, um, not only are we priced out, but I also feel like no, we're getting priced out for across the board. I think it's one of those things where there's
Yeah.
just like less third spaces because the like the activities that would usually take up that space are now like either we didn't charge anything, now we're charging too much. And
Hmm.
so now you're like, what are we supposed to do? And it's like not like we're in
Yeah.
high school and can just sit at the mall.
Yeah. I mean, even that was like, I mean, I don't know if that was a hobby, but that was like
At least
I
some
mean,
form of like
entertaining.
connecting and
I
hanging out.
guess you still can go to the mall and sit there, but like you wouldn't, and everyone would be on their phones anyways. So it's like you might as well be somewhere that's not the mall. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just think there was like things that even if they weren't free, were like not brutal. You know what I mean? And people still
Hmm.
do like fun, cool stuff like the where the wine, whatever I don't know what it's called. It's like wine and watercolors or whatever, and you go and you paint and you have a glass of wine, and the teacher
Yeah.
shows you how to paint something, and that's fun. You go with your friends and you get to, but still, it's like, oh yeah, I did that, and it was $80. And you're like, whoa, dude, like that's a really nice meal out, or like just I mean, that's just a lot of money in general, especially if you Uber both ways and everything. Um, I
Yeah. I
already
think
do
what
all of the free hobbies anyways, like walking. I mean, all the free ones are unfortunately exercise, and that sucks.
yeah. I think
Or I guess it could be
I
photography,
think
which
this
is shitty
could
for
also be like a where have our third spaces gone?
yeah. I mean, it's sort of like I'm not even so sure like what they were in the first place. I mean, maybe just like a local like high school football, baseball, or like football or baseball game. You just sort of went and like you'd watch the people play, just that type of thing.
But I also don't
But
know if, yeah, I'm very curious if this is just like an LA specific issue, but I don't know. I feel
yeah,
like most people I talk to feel like there's less like accessible things to do with other
yeah,
people that don't like destroy your wallet. Because
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
concerts are third spaces, but it's like, but tickets are now insanely expensive. So what
Infinity,
is
yeah,
this?
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, great question.
Yeah.
All right, I got another one.
God,
Um,
I'm on fire. I'm gonna lose it
has
by the end. Don't worry.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
go ahead.
Has convenience made life easier or thinner?
Well, it's definitely made it easier. That's what convenience means. But I know what you mean. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think you can just take
how
out
would
the
we
easier part.
reword it?
Has,
Has
has
convenience made everything hollow?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Made things hollow. Yeah,
Let's try. Has convenience made us more hollow?
I mean, has convenience? You could even like, has convenience made us less interesting? And that goes back to the Kurt Vonnegut thing.
Yes,
It's like, oh
totally.
yeah, I could order the envelope, but no, I'm gonna go up and buy an envelope, and I'm gonna pet a dog on the street and ask her what kind it is and what name it is, and
Yeah,
see
I
what's
think there's
going
so much,
down.
especially since we're just like barreling into more and more and more convenient. I
Hmm.
think I feel like we're not like pumping the brakes in regards to like how much of life is it removing. And
Yeah,
like, especially like in LA, you walk through like there's so many areas of Hollywood. They used to have so many, like you go down Sunset and there's just so many empty storefronts. And you're like, That's because no one's out and about buying stuff. And well, we
Yeah.
don't have money, but it's also like you have Amazon now. Why would I
Hmm.
ever go to a store again?
Well, yeah, why would you go to
It's
your local hardware store? Yeah, I mean, it's also a question of like, it's an economics thing. Like, small towns and small shops and small everything is dying because we really did trade in, our local stores and, culture basically for a Walmart to save a couple of bucks.
Mhm.
But, it's also like it's I don't, blame everyone for going to the Walmart. It's like it is if it's $10 cheaper, it's like that's tough to say no to,
Yeah.
and everyone's supposed to reject that, even though times are, things are lean and times are tough. You're supposed to go pay more just so that the local, hardware store, whatever store will stay open. That's a tough ask sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. What other question you got?
But this is stealing from a super good podcast that people should check out called Long Time No See the podcast. But one question we had was if you could say one thing to everyone on Earth, what would you say and why? Uh, little narrower than I guess, and people would have to come in really rear and to rip. But that'd be kind of funny one. I don't know if people would write speeches out or whatever. But it's more of the question of like, what do you think everyone should know? Or what would be
Yeah.
better for everyone to know about? Um,
Yeah, that one's a
yeah,
fun that one's like a that one feels like a fun like game to
yeah,
think through.
yeah.
I got
That's a fun.
one.
That's a fun little question, but I don't know if it's gonna get us 90 minutes.
Yeah,
So.
I agree. Do you think being busy is a choice?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. I think we talked about that one before. Um, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I mean, not if you
I
just
feel like
get
it
hammered
can
with it.
be. I think it's
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
oscillates
If
so
you're
hard between
lucky, if
it.
you're lucky, it is.
Yeah, but I
If
feel
you're
like it
just getting
oscillates.
violated,
Yeah, I mean it's so person, but this goes back to what our good questions are the vague ones. The vague ones
yeah,
that can be taken a bunch of different ways, and I think this might be one of them.
definitely, definitely.
Okay, I have another one. This one's more negative and scary. If we want
Mhm.
to go back into Doomville, I don't know if this is like a
Yeah.
January vibe, but are we living through the death of truth? Scary, but I
I
think
mean,
it's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
That's
it's
a
just
that's a
like
funny one.
AI technology, like people
Yeah,
being
yeah,
siloed off, people only seeing things
hmm
that they want to see, like even like the
yeah,
chat stuff, just kind of just saying like agreeing with you no matter what you put in it.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
that's
I
not
mean, yeah.
exactly
The, the,
great.
the large language model's just hallucinating answers. You're like,
It just makes
that's
stuff
not
up to
right.
make you
Yeah,
happy, and you're like, that's not what I
yeah,
want though.
yeah, exactly. I also think that people are losing like capital T truth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, just the being a good person is what matters and this and that, the lessons you get from Shakespeare and Lord of the Rings and the Bible and all of that, which are, I guess may or may
I
not
don't
be
know. I
true
don't know. I feel like
stories,
I don't
but
know if I agree with that, but that makes this a good question. All right, what else
yeah,
you
I
got?
think, yeah. You got another one? I've been ripping all of mine, dude. Those are my good
I got one.
ones.
I got another one. Uh,
Yeah,
are we too comfortable to revolt?
yeah. That is funny. Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of. I
I
mean, the
think it's
thing
a
is,
fun
like,
one.
yeah. Well, also, what's crazy is people that are like somewhat well-to-do seem to be like, no, let's burn it all to the ground. It's like, I don't know if you know
But
this,
no
but
one
like,
is though. Like I feel like we
well,
talk about it, but it's like
yeah,
we had Luigi, which was like a one-off. We had Kirk.
hmm,
We had Donald Trump.
yeah,
We're gonna have
yeah.
it. I think this year will be the year of revolt. That's my big
Oh man, dude.
theory. Well, it's just like nothing's getting better.
Oh no.
And things, if things
Yeah,
are gonna
yeah, that's the
just keep
problem.
getting worse, like you can't have
Hmm.
60% of people paycheck to paycheck and be like, "Yep, let's just keep this up. This is good."
Yeah, yeah,
Things
exactly.
are
That's just
up
not
from
working.
like even before, like things
Yeah,
are costlier than they were at the beginning of the year. So you're like,
yeah.
it's just getting literally worse.
The all of us being so comfortable thing is also something that's like, not to be like overly conspiratorial, but the the elites, the billionaires, they love that. They're like, yeah, like here,
Well,
stay
yeah,
at
we're like
home, watch
sedated
TV.
on TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. You're sedated by all, but all the convenience as well.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, stay at
Totally.
home and order food. Like, don't get out there and see what's going on and participate. And doesn't a protest sound arduous? Come on, like just chill at home and post a black square or whatever. Like,
Okay,
so it's
I
one of
got
those.
another one.
Yeah,
This one's a bit more like woo woo wah wah.
yeah,
But it's out there. Hold on, where'd it go? What does being yourself mean when you keep changing?
yeah. That's a good one. I like that.
Because I think that speaks to
Yeah,
like this core of like of being and like who like what does it mean to be like a person and alive? What because
yeah,
like the thing like I look at me like 5 years ago, very different, but I was still me, you know?
yeah, yeah. Well, I think you can be. I mean, yeah, that's a great question. Huh. With all of them, we just like start answering them.
Yeah, I know, but whatever. I'm not like because
Yeah, yeah,
I think we're just testing out. We're like, can this
yeah.
go a bunch of different ways or not?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely just times when you know you're being your true, authentic self, and times when you're sort of putting it on.
Yeah. Okay,
And almost,
I'm down to
yeah.
my last couple, and then if you have any, and then we can wrap it up. But
I got one if you want me to hop in.
let's do it.
Well, it's sort of, I mean, I haven't figured out the wording yet, but what are we supposed to do with our guilt? And then,
Ooh,
or like, at what point does guilt no longer become useful and start being a negative thing?
yeah. When does it not serve us?
Yeah, it's like if you told a joke and it hurt your friend's feelings, and you're like feel really guilty about it, and you just can't get over it, but your friend's already over it. It's like,
Then it goes into
like
useless.
you,
Yeah,
you gotta be like, I'll be a better person. I won't do that anymore and move on. So like but you can just keep torturing yourself forever over it, right? Like you have to let it go at some point, but it
yeah,
also has to be commensurate with the trespassing or the mistake that you made, because otherwise
totally.
you're
And I think
psychopath
that,
and you
and
don't
it's
feel.
just one of those
Yeah,
things where it's just like it's going to be your ability to like forgive yourself, and
yeah,
that can be a mountain for some things. Like
yeah.
I get that. So yeah,
And it
I like
depends how
it. I
bad
think
the thing you
that's
did was. Yeah, 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 yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Okay. Have we become too dependent on algorithms to tell us who we are?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, I definitely don't feel that way. I don't think my algorithm tells me who I am, but I think it presents a oneness to us all, where we're all like, "Did you see that meme?" It's like, yeah, not only did I see it, I saw it on Instagram, TikTok,
I also
YouTube
feel like I
Shorts,
hear some
and
people
everybody sent it to me.
like I feel like uh I feel like you hear some like things that get regurgitated out of your algorithm and
Yeah,
you're like reciting like a made up thing that you saw online that was
yeah.
fed
But
to you. But I
everything's
guess
that, dude.
that's
Yeah,
always been a
yeah,
thing. I guess
yeah,
back in
yeah.
the 50s the TV would just be like this is what happened and it's a lie and then you just say it to everyone.
Yeah, the classic thing is you saw it on Reddit and you said, I read somewhere. It's
You're
like,
like you
oh
didn't even
yeah.
read it, you read the
Did you read
comments.
somewhere? Yeah, you read the comments of a Reddit post. Like, this is so fake news. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Okay, I got one.
okay, yeah, another one. Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Do you believe the world is kinder than it seems?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. So that was one of the ones that's we've talked about a little bit before too. Yeah.
Is that just
Yeah,
yeah?
that's a
Is
tough
that
one. Yeah.
it's for me that doesn't feel tough. What that one feels obviously like yes to me, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess some people
No,
think
because the thing
not.
is that your immediate thing, I mean, I'm not even a super particularly optimistic person, although I don't think I'm overly pessimistic either. But your heart wants to say, yeah, of course the world is kinder than it seems, and like the media makes money off of making everything seem terrible and awful, but for the most part, a person would help you if you fell down. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if you're on a hike and you fall and you're like, oh, then if somebody saw that, they're not going to like laugh and take a picture and walk off. But
yeah,
the thing is, the people that have the ability to really ruin stuff can be really unkind in such an outsized way that the
hmm,
person that helped you once you fell, it's like, well, the president can go on and with one tweet be unkind to many millions of people. And
yeah.
so it's just the level of kindness still feels localized, but the level of
Harshness
odiousness,
can
yeah,
be like
can
sweeping.
can be, yes, exactly, can be
Yeah,
sweeping.
I like it. And then okay, I got a lot of good questions, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Is what do you think people, this is optimistic because this assumes 1,000 years from now we're still around. What do you think people will still argue about 1,000 years from now?
Yeah. Um, Sports teams. Yeah. I mean,
uh,
probably most of it, you know. Yeah.
what about is
Yeah.
is chemistry something you build or something you find?
Yeah, I like that one a lot as well. That's an interesting one because even if you meet somebody and you hit it off right away and it's all going great, you're like, you know, whatever that was found. That was chemistry right off the bat. It's like we probably still started with like, hey, how's it going? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I guess
Like,
I guess it's just
it's like
like
you did built it, you
what
know?
does
Yeah,
building look like in regards to
yeah,
chemistry and how fast
mhm,
does that happen? I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, when you meet other funny people and you know, they're really you find them funny and they find you funny and you sort of just like immediately are off to the races at a, you know, at a party or whatever.
Hmm.
You know, it feels like you found that, but you know, that feels found. But at the same time, like you, even just the banter is like it growing, you know,
Yeah,
into
it
something
like the
where
sparks.
we're both, yeah, yeah, are sort of, yeah, firing back and forth at each other there. Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one I got, and then if you have any, then we can wrap it up.
I think
Um,
you're about to say the one I'm about to ask, but go ahead.
what happens when humans no longer have to work to survive?
I'm like, let's say it at the same time. It's just
Did
totally
we, was
different.
it the question you were looking at?
No,
That's
no,
crazy.
no, no. That's not
Okay,
that one. No,
we can
no.
do yours next
Um,
then.
sorry, wait, what was yours? What was that one again?
What
I was
happens
already
when
laughing.
humans no longer have to work to survive?
That's yeah, that's a great question. And it
It's,
goes to
I
the
think
point we
it's
were
like
talking about
around the
earlier.
corner. So it's like, yeah, what is about to
Yeah.
happen?
Well, it depends if like I mean if the everyone,
They
you know,
decide to share
if
the money with
with
us or
there's
not?
so much abundance, yeah, and ever they do have to share the money if they want to keep us complacent and not, you know, fighting everyone in the world, then they
And
do
not
have
pushing
to.
them, like forcing them into their bunkers.
Yeah, 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 not pushing them into their bunkers or Luigiing them,
Yeah.
then you know they are going to have to share.
Well,
Um,
it's fun because it's kind of weird because I feel like I've heard like I think there's like a mass movement like into the more like arts just because you're like, well, I don't have to do this anymore. But it's also
yeah,
interesting because I feel like weirdly right now when there's like it's kind of like a pressure cooker of like what is happening.
mhm,
I feel like I've seen a lot of articles come out about how like storytelling is now becoming like a humongous like ask in regards to like job openings in like tech, like big business, just because I think it's one of those things where I think just because the algorithm has changed, a lot of the things that used to work to like get people like, oh, it's super highly edited and like it looks very sexy and it's like I think that's kind of going away right now as there's kind of like a weird like stripping back of like what people gravitate towards. So, and I think because of that, now you're seeing big tech be like, we need to like create real emotional storytelling around like
mhm.
our refrigerators. But
I don't
that
know
feels like
where
something
you're going with that. Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm saying is just like I think like storytelling, like the arts, like being authentic, stuff like that is something that I feel like is
yeah,
so averse and not ever part of like the workforce in regards
yeah,
to
yeah,
like what
yeah.
it means to have a job. But I feel like there's
Hmm.
been like this weird entry where it's been coming in just because just the nature of like what people are finding and like gravitating towards has changed so much over the last like year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, so there's an entire question of intrinsic and extrinsic value, you know. If the extrinsic value of your, you know, is covered, which is what this question is, right? Like,
Hmm.
why do you go to work? You're like for the money and the health insurance. So if you have money and health insurance, you know, would you do this job? You know, people would say no, but then a lot of people are like, oh, well, you know, working gives people a purpose and da 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 da. It's like, well, only if they like their job, basically. Because
Yeah.
if it's some low level job that you absolutely hate, it's actually introducing a lot of stress, which is terrible for you, and it doesn't give your life meaning, and it's you know it's brutal and just something you have to do. versus
Yeah.
something you want to do.
I think we just see what like
Um,
just a big
'cause
rise in like fulfilling jobs.
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be like a question of like everyone's gonna basically have the ability to do what they want to do, but are we just it's gonna be an attention economy thing? Is everyone just gonna stay at home and play video games, or would they actually go out and pursue what their the creative ventures that they're interested in? Are they gonna actually learn how to play guitar? Are they gonna start surfing like they said? Are they gonna pick up golf, or are
I
they
also
just gonna
think that
sit at
it's one
home,
of those
order
things where
more
like
Postmates,
I
and
think
do
there's like
less stuff, not more?
so many curious people that I can't like. You're like, are there people uh who are like software engineers who are like, I'm going to become an archaeologist now because I like the
Yeah, yeah.
dinosaurs and skeletons. But you're like, do
Yeah,
those
yeah.
jobs go away? I don't think so. Do we automate those jobs away?
Well,
Are there going to be like
you might not
leisure?
even
Are there going to be like
you
leisure
don't even
workers? Like they're here for fun. Like,
well, it's not it's gonna be hobbyists is what it
yeah,
is. You know what I mean? So like, okay, everyone's got enough money to live, and like we just raise the floor of living, right? Because right now
uh,
it's you can be homeless with literally nothing, and then you go, okay, the worst you can be doing is you have food, shelter, health care, and a stipend of $1,000 a month to spend on whatever else you want. But your
hmm
basic needs, just getting rid of Maslow's, the lowest hierarchy of needs, you just get rid of that, and then people can start working towards self actualization or whatever.
yeah,
Um, there will definitely be some level of loss because like maybe you don't love your job, but jobs afford you the ability to get really really good at something. So like
yeah,
I mean I don't
totally.
know, whatever
But
I
now I
was
guess
gonna.
it just will be people getting really, really good at the stuff they want to get good at, not like
Exactly,
stuff
yeah. But so like,
randomly that they weirdly are getting good at because they have to for money.
yeah, and they also have to for money. Exactly, yeah. So it's like a vocation versus
Okay,
a
I think the
hobby.
vote is this is a good question. Wes, do you want to do
Yeah,
yours
yeah.
and then we can hop out?
Yeah, so the one this was like we talked about it really quickly was is everything derivative?
Oh yeah, is
Um
there
and
nothing new under
so
the sun? Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean not new, right? Because like but you just go, God, that's so blah 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 or whatever.
Yeah, I think
Um
this the big like stab at like what is originality? Is it happening still?
yeah.
Is
And
like
to me the answer is like yes, and it should make you more free as a creative if you're doing any creative venture, because like you're just not from a vacuum. You have read books, you have seen movies, so like anything you're making up, like you can't just thing, you like, because you're a compilation of all the stuff that's happened to you and everything you've seen, everything you've read, all the stuff
everyone
you
you've
liked and
met.
didn't
Uh-huh.
like, everyone you've met, every story you've heard, so you can't be like, well, now I'm going to write a story. And even though I've read Lord of the Rings, like, this will have, Lord of the Rings will have no impact on it. It's like, you can't no impact on it because it has to, because it's a part of you.
hmm
Um, and I think that should be freeing. It's just like, oh, we're all borrowing and it's like, whatever. There's whatever, however many stories, and we're all sort of telling them,
Yeah, it's funny because
in
like
our
I feel
own
like I even
flavor
think
of
about this
things.
with like being a person. Like I feel like I am just fully like a sponge that has
Yeah,
absorbed
yeah.
everything that has ever been around me, everyone I've talked
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
things
You
I've
just
like
go, I
every
like that. I'm
experience.
getting rid of that. Yeah,
You
yeah.
just are like this, I like
At
this. I don't
school.
know.
Yeah,
Why did I have that? Um,
yeah, yeah.
it's not surprising. Like I'm not surprised that like that's also true of art, true of work, true of everything. Like it's just like
Hmm.
everything ebbing and flowing. But it's I guess it's whether or not because of that it's original or because of that it's not original or it's not
Yeah,
derivative.
yeah, yeah.
Because
I mean, yeah, I think it can be derivative and original,
how
but
loose is that word derivative?
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it just means to derive from something. I mean, like, yeah. Um, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you want to be super loose with it, then just the first time anyone told a story, it's like, and we're all just pretending to be that guy. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
The OG storyteller. Um, but yeah, I think that's fine to like draw on a bunch of different stories, because it's also like it could be original if you're taking like a bunch from you've read 1,000 books and you take something from all of them and you build up this whole new thing. It's like, okay, sure, you derived a tiny part of your story from something, but the result is something new and interesting.
Yeah, totally.
A
All right.
lesson from here and a lesson from there. Boom. Yeah.
I think these were all great questions. Thanks for shooting them over to us. Uh,
Yeah. Thanks for everyone that wrote one in too. That was cool.
We're gonna take next Monday off, but we'll be back the first Monday of January. I think we're gonna
We're
load
back,
in the
baby.
first four questions and kind of just throw them all up for people to answer on and leave voicemails for.
Yeah,
Um,
please call in. It helps us out a
yeah,
bunch,
literally
and
just like call in, let
maybe
us
it's
know
fun
what
to
you
listen
think.
to. Yeah.
We'll have the phone lines will be open during the shows, and then we'll play the voicemails as well throughout the shows and post them throughout the week. Um, and then if you have any more ideas for questions, literally just like toss them our way whenever. We're open to anything and everything. Um,
Yep.
yeah, we're excited. Hope everyone enjoys the holidays, and thanks for tuning in.
Happy holidays, everybody. Bye.